mean, I can do it quite easily and then just post it and then share the link with you.
I've just started with you. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, too early because nobody's here.
She'll be singing with me. She has been learning it today.
Good.
Wow, fantastic.
जयति चेदिकम् जन्मना व्रज शयत इन्दिरा शाश्वतत्रयी दैत्यक्लीश्यता दीक्षुतावका त्वयि धृताशव त्वां विचिन्वते शरदुदाशये शारुजातस सरसिजोदरा श्रीमुषादिशा सुरतनागते शुल्कदाशिता वरदनीनतो स्नेह किं वद विषजलाप्यया व्यालराक्षसा वर्षमारुता वैद्युतानला वृषमयात्मजा विश्वतो भया ऋषभते वयं रक्षितामुः नखालुगोपिका नन्दनो भवान् अखिलदेना अन्तरात्मजे विखनसार्थितो विश्वभूतये सख उदेहिमान् सर्वतं पुरे विरचिता भयम् वृष्णिदूतये चरणमीयुषां संसृतेर्भया करसरोरुहं कान्तकामदम् शिरसि देहिना श्रीकरग्रहम् वरदजनातिहन् लीलयोषिता निजजनस्मया वंशनास्मिता भज सखे भवान् किंकरी स्मरो जलरुहाननम् चारुदर्शया प्रणत देहिनां पापकर्षणम् त्रिनचारोनुगम् श्रीनिकेतनम् फनिफनार्पितम् ते पदाम्बुजम् कृणुकुचे शूना कृन्धिरीचयम् मधुरया गिरा वारुवाक्यया बुधमनोक्षया पुष्करेशना विधिकरीरिवा वीरमूयते अधरश्रीगुणा यायस्वना तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना रहसितं प्रिया प्रेमवीक्षणम् विहरणं च ते ध्यानमङ्गलम् रहसि संविदो या हृदि स्पृशा इह तनो मना शोभयन्ति चलसि यद्व्रजात् चारयन् पशुन् नलिनसुन्दरम् नाथ ते पदम् शीर्षिनान्कुरे सीदकीर्तिना कलिलतामना कान्त गच्छति दिनपरिचये नीलकुण्डले वनरुहाननम् बिभ्रभावतम् गगनजागरम् दर्शयन्मुहुः मनसि न स्मरम् वीरयच्छसि प्रणतकामदम् पद्मजार्चितम् धरणिमण्डनम् ध्येयं पापदी चरणपङ्कजम् शन्तमं च ते रमणनस्तने स्वल्पयादिहन् सुरतः प्रहृतवेणुना सुष्ठुकुचुम्बितम् इतररागवीश्वरणं विनम् वितरवीरनास्ते धरात्मितम् अतति यद्भवान् हानिकाननम् त्रुटियुगायते त्वामपाश्यता कुटिलकुन्तलम् श्रीमुखं च ते जरौ दीक्षता पक्ष्मकीदृशा सखिसुतां वया भ्रातृबन्धवा अतिविलम्ब्यते अन्त्यच्युतगता गतिविदास्तबगुकी मोहिता हितवयोषिता तस्त्वजेनिषि रहसि संविदम् ऋचयोदयम् प्रहसिताननम् प्रेमवीक्षणम् बृहदुरश्रियो वीक्ष्य धाम ते मुहुरति स्पृहा मूयते मनः रजवनोपशात् व्यक्तिरङ्गते विजिनहञ्ज्यलम् विश्वमङ्गलम् यजमनार्चना वत्स्पृहात्मना स्वजनविविजा यन्निषूदनम् यत्ति सुजातधराम्बुरुहंस्तनेषु गीताशनै प्रियदधिमहि कर्कशेषु तेनातविम्नतशीतव्यततेन किं स्वे कुर्पादिभिर्भ्रमतिभिर्भवदयुषं न। श्री गोपी गीत की जय। श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय। महाराज की जय।
Karuna Bandar ki jai.
महाराज की जय।
Govind Prabhu, shall we do first pranams to Prabhupada and
Yes.
Mahamantra a little bit?
Yes. Let's go for that.
Do that at least. Yeah. So, Karuna, carry on. Oh, I can do it. Karuna, would you like to sing the pranams to Prabhupada?
Yes, Prabhu. Okay.
Okay. And Mahamantra maybe for 5 minutes.
Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna prasthaya bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Mao Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyadishatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyadishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare
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 Hare Rama Hare
Hare Rama
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 Rama Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe Jaya Radha
Damodarastakam.
Jaya Vrindavan Dham Jaya Vrindavan Dham Vrindavan Dham Jaya Vrindavan Dham
Jaya
Vrindavan
Vrindavan. So I think
Vrindavan Dham Vrindavan Dham Jaya Vrindavan Dham Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol
Hare Krishna. Radha Damodar ki
Jai.
jai. Lal ki jai. Krishna Balaram ki jai. Shri Gonita ki jai. Shri Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai. So,
Jai
Hare Krishna, everybody. It's so nice to see so many devotees. And I'd like actually Govind Prabhu to introduce us.
Hare Krishna.
This
Dandavat
is
Pranam,
Govind,
Prabhuji.
by the way, just in case.
Dandavat Mataji. Hare Bol. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Karuna Bindara Mataji. This is the very first time I got the opportunity to hear you. And I must say it was so transcendental, especially the Gopi Geet. I would say when you were singing, and I could say on behalf of others as well, we really felt that we were there, like we were sitting in the assembly where Maharishi Shri Shonak Dev was reciting Shrimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit. Oh,
These are the words of the pure devotee, Prabhuji.
very, very nice, Mataji. It reminded me of my time, like we were there in Vrindavan, and almost everyone there is a gopi. And let us all take those gopis as our guru to bless us to have the same mood as they have, to be on the same platform if we could be, to become a pure devotee. So we could also sing Gopi Geet as you did, Mataji. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. And Hare Krishna to everyone else. Thank you so much. Some of you got your cameras on, which is great. So we could see you enjoying, you're smiling. And some of you, you don't have your cameras on, but still, I will take that on as your presence. You're blessing us, giving all your blessings, all your best wishes. Now, a little bit more on what we're going to do it today. Now, first of all, I would like to say thank you to Nabinandan Prabhuji and Jayanti Mataji. You have been working tirelessly hosting these Damodar Ashtakams, Damodar Aartis, Damodar program. It is indeed a blessing to have you and many other devotees around. Otherwise, we could have done it alone. But when all the devotees, we get the association from everyone, this is a different thing. And that's what we were seeking for. And that's why you came over here to bless us. Thank you so much. Thank you. So what we're going to have now, we have just done the Gopi Geet. I have posted the link there. Prabhuji shared the Gopi Geet while Mataji was singing. So hopefully you could sing along. But the link is there in the chat. So you could take away that link and you could meditate on the Gopi Geet if you like. Similarly, we will have Damodarastakam. So there are 8 verses on Damodarastakam. Before that, Prabhuji got a very nice, very transcendental pictorial presentation to keep us engaged, and it's very informative because this is what personally I always think, before we sing something, if we understand the true meaning behind it, right, we can put our heart to it, right? It's not just reciting the verses. When you are reciting, you really get into the true meaning of that. The bhava and prema manifest in your prayers, and that's why let's spend few minutes I will take before I will hand over back to Prabhuji. Why we do it?
Before you do that, just introduce us to some of your wonderful family.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Well, well, there's not much to share, but myself, Varunapati Govinda Das, VP Govinda Das, and I'm, by the mercy of Guru Maharaji, I'm initiated devotee, disciple of Srila Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swamiji Maharaj. And it was indeed a mercy. I don't think I was qualified enough, literally, because the list was big. So when I looked at it, I thought it will be very hard. But Guru Maharaj, if you know, he is very merciful. And not only he showered the mercy on me, my lovely wife is here as Haripriya Devi Dasi.
Haribo!
And I'm blessed with couple.
So how long have you been married? Because you're saying your lovely wife, so obviously not that long yet. Only joking. Sorry.
Sure, of course. You must be joking, Prabhuji, while Mataji is sitting next to you.
Exactly, only joking.
But no, we are very well reminded. Well, we will complete. I think we finished 14 last time, so we will complete 15 in a couple of months' time.
Good job.
Yes, Prabhuji, right. I have been with him for almost 14 years now. Yeah, we'll be completing 15 years in January.
I always get it wrong, but this time I got it right. 33 years, right? Holy smoke.
So as we say, Prabhuji, you are inspiration for us in every field, wherever we look for. Thank you. And we are blessed with a couple of nice, great devotees. And we have Shivani here sitting next to Mataji.
Ah, wonderful. Hare Krishna, Shivani.
And we have Hare Krishna. We have Aryan as well. Aryan did the shloka recitation this morning, 5:30.
Oh, wow.
And Shivani is due later. So because we were in Damodar Desh, so we are still in connection, and that they do the annual shloka recitation, and that's where the kids are still connected to, which is really, really, really great.
And your family is here from India as well, right?
Yes, I did notice my mother is there. Well, I saw her name. I'm sure the family is there as well. We go some other friends. I could see. Well,
Yes.
my mother-in-law is also here.
Jai.
Right. So for both of them, I would like to say a couple of words in Hindi, please.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Mummy ji, Mata Shri, and please, आप अपनी blessings बनाएं. Last time जब हमने किया था तो आप हमारे साथ में थे. अभी जैसे circumstances चल रहे हैं जिस वजह से हम इकट्ठे नहीं आ पाए, लेकिन I'm sure कि आप वहाँ पे हैं और हम लोगों को blessings दे रहे हैं, आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं. Thank you so much. आप दोनों के लिए और दोनों ही फैमिली की तरफ से आप दोनों के नाम दिख रहे हैं, बट आई एम श्योर कि फैमिली मेंबर्स भी सारे वहां पे साथ में बैठे होंगे. थैंक यू सो मच. नाउ both of mothers, thank you so much, Prabhu.
This is a fantastic example. You're so showing the way. Must always respect mother and father, the elders. Very, very good example you're setting.
Get their blessings first.
Get their blessings first. Without their blessings, it's difficult. So.
Of course, yes, yeah. It's needless to say that we are where we are because of their blessings.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have, and we both. There are not many things after having been in a relationship for 14 years. There are not many things we agree on, but this is one of those things we do. Both of us, we agree that we are here because of our parents' blessings.
That sounds very familiar. You see the black eyes?
Oh yes, certainly. Hari Bol. So we do have, last year when we had just arrived here back in London, we did do Damodarastakam, Damodar Aarti at our place, and obviously physically it was present, so we invited all the close friends nearby. Some of them I could see, and some of them they just messaged that they are running a bit late, they will be joining soon. So it's really good to have everyone, even though it's virtual. But what we are going to do, Damodarastakam, Damodar Aarti a bit later. So please keep your lamp, your diya, filled with ghee. So when we will show to Lord Damodar, then we all could do it together. And Mataji got a lot of lamps ready here. We will do on behalf of everyone. But if you have the picture of Lord at your place, then you could do that as well. Pranam, Mummy ji. Thank you, Mummy ji. Ji. Okay, all right. Pitaji, pranam.
They live in Vrindavan, huh?
Well, currently they are in Delhi. My mother is from Vrindavan, but my dad is from Delhi. So they are in Delhi. Mummy ji, Vrindavan में हैं आप अभी इस वक्त की दिल्ली में हैं? दिल्ली में हैं. Okay, right. Okay, right. Thank you. So yes, my mother spent a lot of time in Vrindavan. So I think a couple of days back when I spoke to her, she was in Vrindavan.
Wow.
So she must have just come back. And this is really, really good. Thank you. So good. Now when I can see, जब मम्मी जी, पापा जी, अब हम आपको देख सकते हैं, तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि आप बिल्कुल हमारे साथ में ही हैं, हम साथ में
जी
दामोदर आरती करेंगे. हरी बोल. Thank you so much. Okay, so
Prabhu, we have Kanchan Mataji as well. Remember we met her in Chennai.
Oh yes,
the wedding. Yes,
that's right. Hare Krishna Mataji. I hope Prabhuji. I was about to say Hare Krishna. Danvat pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Both nice to see you. You are very
yes,
enthusiastic, and it's lovely to see your parents as well and your in-laws.
Oh yes, yeah. I remember parents were
I've
there as
never
well.
met them before, but we obviously met in Birmingham as well. I think
we did.
That's right, Prabhuji. Yes.
Year.
Yes.
Did it 24-hour
Mataji.
Yes.
Was it some kirtan or some program or 24-hour kirtan? Was it
initiation ceremony?
Yes.
Or it was it my son's initiation?
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Balaram and Revati.
Yes.
That's right. Yes. Your daughter-in-law, your son got initiated at the same time as me. So when Guru Maharaj was going back to Mayapur, and yes, we had the opportunity to meet again. That's where we were able to meet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to see you both.
Nice to see you. Yeah, nice. nice.
Okay, should we get on with the satsang?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank
Very
you.
good. Sure. So, Prabhuji, would you like me to share a few
Yes.
words on Hari Bol?
Yes.
Right. So, as I was saying, it's really important to know what we are doing, why we are doing. So, we are here doing Damodar. We're going to do Damodarastakam. We have done the Gopi Geet. So, as it says, what it is, the story we are going to share. The story is the pastime of the Lord. And why do we do the pastimes? We think of the pastime when we love someone. As parents, most of us would remember when we go back and we see the photographs, we think, we cherish those pastimes of our children and maybe some cases of our parents, right? Why do we do that? Because we just love doing it. We don't have any hidden agenda behind it. We just love doing it. And that's one of the reasons pastime of the Lord, it's so nectarian itself just to know it, right? It says, whatever one does for Krishna at any time, at any place, under any circumstances, it is one's eternal benefit. But in this endeavor, there is no loss. This is coming from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. In this endeavor, there is no loss, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So if I'm engineer, I'm a chartered engineer, next birth, well, hopefully I would not get next birth, but if in case I will, then I will have to start from ABC again. But if we will have a little advancement on Krishna consciousness movement, then we will, if we will do 40%, we will start from 41%, right? So always think of it. Such is the benefit of devotional service in general though. However, during certain times of years, such as the appearance anniversaries of Lord Krishna, Janmashtami, the benefits of one service are compounded multifold. During the month of Kartick, also called Damodar, and we will find out why. So during the month of Kartick, rewards for service to Krishna are greater than at any other time of the year. For instance, Krishna always likes tulsi leaves. So it's always a good time to offer tulsi leaves to Krishna. However, it says the result one obtains by giving 10,000 cows in charity can be obtained by offering one tulsi leaf to the Supreme Lord during the month of Kartik. So 10,000 cows, one tulsi leaf. And those who worship Lord Hari with an offering of 100,000 tulsi leaves during the month of Kartik certainly advance on the path of pure devotional service. Now, showing one lamp is equivalent to all of those. So that's our request to everyone during the month of Damodar. If we show the lamp, the ghee lamp, to Lord Damodar, that's going to take everything away. Well, everyone knows and mostly afraid of Yamraj. Yamraj is the universal superintendent in charge who gives the punishment to those who transgress karmic law. For a devotee who worship Lord Vishnu with offerings of a lamp, in the month of Kartik, Yamraj orders the removal of all his or her sinful reaction from the account book. So it's making the balance out in this month, Kartik month. It's like when we go to the market, we get buy one, get one free offer. But in Kartik could be thought of as the ultimate buy one, get a whole lot of free stuff, right? Or the equivalent of a super multi-triple world score in the game of Scrabble, if you know that. For a limited time only though, however is lucky enough to do some service for Krishna during the special month gets a unique, huge return on their investment. The ultimate return one becomes more Krishna consciousness. So as the devotees, we don't expect any material benefit. The only thing we want is a bit of more Krishna consciousness, advancement back to Krishna, right? एंड मम्मी जी आपके लिए कार्तिक, मैं आपको बचपन से स्नान करते हुए देखा है। मॉर्निंग में आप अभी भी 4 बजे उठ के स्नान करने जाते हैं, तो हमें हमारे लिए हमेशा प्रेरणा रहे हैं आप। तो अब आपसे मैं और कार्तिक के बारे में क्या कहूँ, आप ही ने मेरे को कार्तिक की महिमा सबसे पहले सुनाई, सबसे पहले बताई। तो बस वही मैंने कहा है कि किसी भी मंथ में, कभी भी साल में कुछ करें, लेकिन कार्तिक के महीने में अगर भगवान को, तुलसी जी को एक अगर दिया घी का दिखाते हैं, तो उससे जो लाभ होता है वो आपके सारे के सारे जो पुराने पाप होते हैं खत्म हो जाते हैं, और फिर आप आगे एक नया जीवन शुरू करते हैं। तो वही होप है हमारी, वही उम्मीद है, उसी आशा के साथ में हम आगे का कार्यक्रम संपन्न करते हैं। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग हियर। थैंक यू प्रभु जी, बैक टू यू फॉर द
Oh,
कंटिन्यूएशन।
thank you so much. I can see you as when we're not going to be here for that long because our age is already quite advancing. So I can see you as the future in terms of what I'm doing. I'd love you to take that over, at some point.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We do need you. We do need your blessing, your mercy, and your presence, please.
I love the way,
Yes.
I love the style of preaching. So it's excellent, excellent. Like, congratulate you and your parents and Guru Maharaj, of course. So we actually doing this as a part of a series of seminars in this month of Kartik. There's 5 weekends. So we hoping to spend 10 days. This is the 3rd one. So today we were actually going to look at Yashodamai, but we've changed it around so that we can be a little bit more accommodating. So today we wanted to look at the Krishna Leela up to the time of Damodar Leela, according to Krishna book. And Krishna book is the most glorious book which Srila Prabhupada has written, based on the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. So we are very fortunate to have access to Krishna book by the grace of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I just wanted to mention a few simple things, which we know it's our Sanskriti, that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And how do we know we're not this body? Because the body keeps changing, as you can see here, from boyhood, child to boyhood to youth to old age, old man to old age. So the body keeps changing, but we, throughout this process, have been the same. We remember what we did in the childhood. That hasn't changed, but we have changed. The body has changed, rather. We have not changed. So the soul remains the same. We believe in reincarnation. So when the soul leaves the body, it will get another body, depending on 3 things: karma, consciousness, and desires. So one example, I'll take one example from these pictures. This lady here likes to sleep a lot. That's her karma. She also has a desire to continue to sleep. And her consciousness is that of in the mode of ignorance, sleep mode. So in her next life, she may well get promoted, or demoted rather, to becoming a bear, and she can sleep for 6 months a year, no problem. So we are very fortunate. We've attained this human form of life, and Krishna's come for us. There's this wonderful verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada idai dharmasya glanirvavati bharata bhutanam dharmasya tadatmanam sachamya. I think most Bharatiya people will know this verse. Krishna is explaining that he comes whenever there is a decline in religious practice and an increase in irreligion. But that's not the main reason why he comes. That's the external reason. 2 verses later, he says, Janma karma chame devyam evam yoviti tattvata. Takta deham puna janma naiti mamiti soja. This is why he comes. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains to my eternal abode. He is missing us. He's in the spiritual world. His children, some of them, few of them, are in this material world. We are struggling here. He's watching us and he is missing us. So he comes to our world and he does amazing things. And when we remember those amazing things, we can again link with our Supreme Father and see his sweetness and fall in love with him again. And ultimately, go back to him and get a hug like this when we return back to the spiritual world. And he'll be saying, where have you been? I've been missing you. Where have you been? You finally arrived. So the idea of reading the Krishna book or listening to the pastimes from Krishna book is to again link with the Supreme Lord, see his beautiful sweetness, and fall in love with him. And we are very fortunate we've got access to this. So wanted to go through 8 chapters. I don't know if we'll manage them all, but we will certainly have an attempt. And if any time somebody would like to share any pastime or any comment, like Govind Prabhu or anybody, please don't feel shy. Huh? I don't mind, certainly, if anybody would like to interject. Oh, yes. And Govind Prabhu is he's saying, please listen attentively. There will be a quiz on this presentation, as lots of very useful, hopefully useful information in it to retain forever. Very, very good point. So thank you, Govind Prabhu. And Govind Prabhu, if you want to do the quiz in between somewhere, please don't feel shy. I'll be very happy for you to take that, do that. Huh? So what happened 5,000 years ago? We're going to wind back to over 5,000 years ago. Mother Earth was struggling under the burden of the kings. She went to Lord Brahma and she prayed to Lord Brahma, I need protection. Please offer me your protection. And Lord Brahma said, yes, actually, I know somebody who can protect us. And that is Lord Vishnu. Let's go to the ocean of milk, Shwetadweep, and we will petition him for assistance. So he, together with the Devatas, 5,000 years ago, went with great humility to the spiritual world within our world. Now, what do I mean by that? This is a very small diagram. You won't be able to see it properly. But in essence, this is called the Golok chart. This is Golok Vrindavan. This is the hub of the spiritual world. Vaikuntha is here. Ayodhya is here. And this part of the diagram is the material world. Now, this is where we live, unfortunately. But in this material world, there is a section, a portion of it where Lord Shirodakshai Vishnu lives. This is in Shwetadweep. This is where Lord Brahma and Mother Earth, in the form of Gomata, went to see Lord Vishnu. There is a little bit more closer. This is within our universe. So the Lord has a planet which is part of the spiritual world, but it's within our universe where he resides for the protection of the material world. And this Shirodakshai Vishnu expands himself as Paramatma, super soul, in every living entity. So this is Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Gomata in the form of, Mother Earth in the form of Gomata, praying to Lord Vishnu. And when they meet Lord Vishnu, when they go and see him, they recite the Purusha Shukta. And maybe some of the devotees here even know these Purusha Shukta prayers. They're from the Rig Vedas, glorious, glorious prayers. So at that time, Lord Vishnu, he sent a message to Lord Brahma after being petitioned for assistance. And he said to Lord Brahma, do not worry, I am coming very soon. And please instruct the Devatas to take birth in the family of the Yadus and the Vrishnis, because I will be appearing in that family. So Lord Brahma very kindly conveyed this message to the Devatas, and they did take birth in various incarnations in those families. So what happened? You'll be very familiar with this picture. This is the wedding of Vasudeva and Devaki. And when this wedding took place, Kamsa was so happy. his cousin sister was getting married, and he was actually riding, he was a charioteer of the chariot driver of the wedding party. But then there was an Akashvani, message from the sky. You fool comes, don't you know the 8th son of Devaki will kill you? He was shocked. He was so shameless that he picked up his sword to kill Devaki, his own cousin sister. Vasudev stopped him. And eventually, Vasudev tried to reason with him, but it was very difficult to reason with Kams. But Kams also had some faith in Vasudev, that he keeps his word. So what Vasudev said, I promise you that every child that comes, I will bring to you. Why should you be so infamous for killing your own sister? So think about it, Kams. I will bring the children to you. So if you see how he behaved, Vasudev, we'll often go through very challenging times in our life here. But Vasudev, he kept a cool head and he's devoted to the Lord. So whatever challenge came, he met that challenge and he convinced this evil Kamsa not to kill Devaki. So very, very good example. And every child that was born, and I'm cutting a long story short, Vasudev would present to Kamsa. Kamsa would come and kill one after the other. 6 children were killed. The 7th child was transferred from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini in Gokul. And the 8th child appeared in the mind of Vasudev when was transferred to the mind of Devaki. And at that time, she was effulgent, and the Devatas came. They knew Krishna was going to appear shortly, and they offered him wonderful, wonderful prayers. These prayers are in Krishna book. And this is a really good point, actually. They appeared to the Lord at that time, and they thanked him for coming to protect. Now, it's a very, very good practice to pray to the Lord regularly, thanking him for everything he's done for us. Just like we thank our parents for everything they're doing for us. The ultimate parents, our eternal parents, are Radha and Krishna. So we should thank them very regularly. Be very, very grateful. Everything they've given us. They've given us a lot. Sometimes we focus on what we don't have, but actually we should focus on what we have. Then we'll be at peace. So then it was time for chapter 3, the birth of Lord Krishna. He appeared in an extraordinary form. Normally when a child appears in this world, immediately with crying, he'll appear naked. And if he doesn't cry, he's given a smack so that he does cry. Welcome to hell. No, he's given a smack just to make sure he's okay. And he cries. But Lord Vishnu's incarnation was completely transcendental. Lord Krishna's incarnation is completely transcendental. He came fully dressed, four-armed, holding a conch, gada, flower, and lotus and shank. Yes. Okay. Govind Prabhu, quick quiz.
Haribol. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I was just thinking, yes,
Good.
while you have given so much information, how about we quickly have, yes, right. So just to have everyone, I hope everyone is still awake, right? Because we can't see everybody's cameras. So how are we going to find out? I'm going to post some questions there. And the first question coming on the chat now, and I'm going to read it as well. So if you know the answer, either provide it in the chat or raise your virtual hand or just put your camera. If I can see your camera and you want to wave yourself, feel free to do that. First question, how do we know we are not this body and we are soul? How do we know that? Anybody would like to answer that? How do we know? That was the very first thing Prabhuji mentioned, and that is the very first part of chapter 2, what we call Atmagyan.
Can I just say something, Prabhuji?
Mataji, yes, go on.
Yes, we are this body, because body has to go through the 6 changes in the life, and the soul doesn't go any changes. Soul doesn't remain young as ever.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. And second question, I'm not going to post that, but there was one particular verse. Somebody, well, devotees asked Srila Prabhupada ji that which is your favorite verse in Bhagavad Gita? And Prabhupada ji gave this verse, and this was the verse Prabhuji shared in the presentation today. Janma karma chame divyam. Anybody remember the verse number? Chapter 4, which verse it is?
You told us this morning, number 9, I think.
Yes,
I'm cheating
that's
on that.
right. Yes. Thank you so much. All right. The third question, which I'm going to post, but that question says that Mother Earth went to whom? Who was the very first person? Very first one.
Brahma.
Brahma. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anil Prabhuji. Hare Hare Bol. And then Prabhuji shared Goloka chart. And then Prabhuji said, this place is the hub of spiritual world. And it's very important to remember that. Which place is the hub of spiritual world? And I'm going to give you the, somebody's going to say, is it Vaikunt? Is it Ayodhya?
Vaikunt.
No, it's not. I haven't given the answer yet. Or is it Golok Vrindavan Dham?
Golok Vrindavan.
Golok Vrindavan Dham. Yes, indeed. Right. That's where we would like to. Then there are 3 different types of Vishnu. Prabhuji mentioned the name of one particular one, which was Shirodakshaya Vishnu. That's an easy one. But Shirodakshaya Vishnu expands into what?
Super souls, Paramatmas.
Yes, super soul, Paramatma. Thank you for that. Was very quick in the chat. The answer came through. I can understand where the word warriors come through there.
Rohit, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
The next one. What was the name of the leader of Yadu dance? Prabhuji did mention did Prabhuji mention the name of? No. Okay.
Fine. Question. Good question.
Okay, so this person, Sursain, King Sursain, was the father of the person whose name Prabhuji mentioned. So anybody, Ugrasain, was it Ugrasain? Ugrasain was the father of Kamsa. Sursain was the father of?
Kansa?
No,
Vasudev.
Yes.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much. So glad, even though we could not see your cameras, you were still there. Fantastic. So good to know. Thank you.
I'm on my mobiles. I'm moving here and there in the house, doing work and listening.
Of course. And that's the beauty. Why not? Why not if we can do? And of course, Mataji, you can do multitasking. Very hard for me to do it, but certainly I'm sure you could do it.
Multitasking as a woman.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Back to you, Prabhuji, for the continuation.
And Naniman, you go to the top of the class, okay?
Oh, I know most of the things Prabhuji told us this morning, so I remember.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I think this is a really good idea, and I'd like to probably incorporate something like this into what we do on a daily basis. So very good going, Prabhu. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And Prabhuji explained so well. I mean, he makes us understand basic things so well. So I'm very much grateful to him.
Yes.
Excellent.
And actually, Ben, I think he's the future.
Yes, I fully agree. And yes, I would follow him wherever he goes.
Thank you, Mataji. Keep your blessing.
Yes, Naniben actually is a very amazing person. So he appears not like an ordinary child. He's fully clothed. He's got his 4 hands. This is Vishnu. He's come in that form to reassure Vasudev and Devaki that I have come here to protect you. At that time, Vasudev immediately, as soon as he saw Lord Vishnu, he was shackled. He was in the jail. He couldn't physically donate, but within his mind, he donated thousands of gomatas to the Brahmins. This is the nature of devotees, the generosity of devotees. Now, Devaki prayed to the Lord that, my dear Lord, please convert yourself. You're in the four-handed form, and Kamsa will come and he will bother you. Please convert yourself into baby form of Krishna. Now, there's always a discussion between the Vaishnavas. Who came first? Was it Vishnu or was it Krishna? Who's the origin? Who is the source of all the incarnation? We know there's one God. That one God expands many, many fold. He has so many expansions. So who is that one God? Is it Vishnu, from whom everybody expands? Or is it Krishna, from whom everybody expands? So this is a conversation that's been held over centuries and centuries. Now, it really doesn't matter in one sense, because they're the one and the same person. They're both supreme personalities of Godhead. One God, many expansions. However, the revealed scriptures like the Brahma Samhita and the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, they inform us that Krishna astu Bhagwan Swayam, or Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam is Adi Purusham. Krishna is the Adi Purush, the original supreme personality of Godhead, from whom everybody expands. So we accept that on face value, because those books, those scriptures have been written by Lord Brahma, who is the first created living entity in this world, and the other was spoken by Shukadev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. And Shukadev Goswami is an authority on spiritual matters. Now, it's very interesting how Ramachandra, he appeared in a palace at midday, right? Whereas Krishna, he appeared at midnight in a prison. Very, very contrasting. Ram and Krishna, again, one person, different bodies, that's all, different expansion. One appears at noon in the palace, one appears at midnight in the jail. Why does Krishna do that? Why does he come in the middle of the night? Well, he's coming to protect us. The darkness of night represents, there's no ray of hope for us in this world without Krishna. He's come to give us that ray of hope. That's why he took birth in the middle of the night. And the prison, why did he take birth in the prison? Because we are caught by Maya. Lust, anger, greed, these are our daily companions. And they shackle us to this world. So he came in the prison. He was born in a prison. So this is also a message to us that I have come to free you of your shackles of this world. So Krishna has appeared at this time and place in order to give us hope. When he came, he told Vasudeva, please take me to Gokul. And Yashoda Mai has had a baby girl, and you can swap me with her. And Vasudeva, he didn't say, hey, dear Lord, come on, look at me. I'm in shackles. There's a prison, there's guards, there's locked doors. I can't do it. No, he said, I will do what you say, my dear Lord. This is the very nice, positive mood devotees always have. And we've just been reading the Bhagavatam, Canto 3, where it says, nothing is impossible for a devotee who is surrendered to the Supreme Lord, because he's under the guidance and the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So there's very nice lessons to learn from what happened. For Vasudeva to be able to take Krishna out of the prison, three things happened. The shackles were broken, right? He didn't have anything, iron cuffs. They were broken. The doorkeepers, they fell asleep and the doors opened. Three things happened. So when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, three things happen. Our karma finishes. The shackles that holding us to this world are gone when we bring Krishna within our heart. Second thing that happens, lust, anger, greed, they all go to sleep when Krishna is in our heart. just like the doorkeepers fell asleep. And the third thing that happens, the doors of the spiritual worlds open to us when Krishna is in our heart, just like the doors of the prison opened. So this is very, very important lessons from Krishna's pastime in the prison. So then Vasudeva, he happily was taking Krishna, and we have Krishna's first expansion, Balaram, who also incarnates as Sheshnag, to serve Krishna all the time, to protect Krishna all the time. So this is another thing that happens. Whenever we serve Krishna, his protectors are with him. So we don't have anything to worry about. We should be fully confident. And it was dark, but Krishna is full of light, effulgent. So Vasudeva could see, just like it was in the sunshine. And where there is Krishna, there is no question of darkness. So we always try to remember Krishna, especially in this age of Kali Yuga, by chanting his holy name. As long as we're chanting Krishna's holy name, we're always going to be under his protection, no matter what. Now, Vasudeva, his mission was to take Krishna from Mathura to Gokul. So there's a river in the way called the Yamuna, which is quite a ferocious river, especially at that time. So while Vasudeva was carrying Krishna, actually the rain was falling as well, and Anantashesh came and he protected Krishna, but at the same time he protected the devotee as well. This is the beauty of being in the service of the Lord. The protection is always going to be there. The Yamuna parted and allowed Vasudeva to cross over into Gokul. And there, Yashodamai had just had a baby girl. So she was tired. She fell asleep. She wasn't even clear as to what the sex of the child was. She was just fallen asleep. She was very, very tired. So at that time, Vasudeva did a swap. He left Krishna with Yashoda and he picked up the girl and he took the girl to the prison. Now, this was a pretty heavy sacrifice to make. Right? He gave up his son and took the daughter. And he was taking the daughter back to the prison where Kamsa would obviously do the same thing that he did before with the other 6 children. So sometimes we find in life we also may have to make some great, great sacrifices. But as long as we are Krishna conscious, the Lord's protection will always be with us. So when we make the sacrifice for Krishna, there's no loss. There's only gain. So, shall I carry on? Govind Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay. So Kamsa was informed, the eighth child is born. He came running. He was actually petrified, but he came running because he wanted to see who's my killer and I'm going to deal with that person. Devaki said, no, it's a girl. You can't kill a girl. Kamsa didn't care. He picked up the child and he threw it against the wall. At that time, the child flew out of his hand, turned into 8-formed Mahamaya, Durga Mata. And she told him, your son is already born elsewhere. Sorry, your killer is already born elsewhere. Kamsa, you're a fool. And she disappeared. So Kamsa was in great distress. He actually, initially, he actually asked for forgiveness from Devaki and Vasudeva, saying, I've killed your children. I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry. And Devaki was so kind and generous. She said, I forgive you. I mean, how incredible. A devotee lady's heart is so forgiving, right? We know it, right? Govind Prabhu, the Matajis, they're always amazing, absolutely amazing. Anything crazy we do, they forgive. This is the this is the attitude of the devotee, especially Mataji. Amazing. Anyway, the next day he met his advisors, and they said to him, well, your killer is born. We're going to have to find him. They persuaded him, kill all the children born within the last 10 days in this area. And that's what they did. They were crazy. They sent out so many soldiers and they took so many children, and they caused havoc everywhere. Now, Balaram, he and Krishna were together. And actually, Balaram, he didn't say anything for the first few days when he was born. And they were all thinking, what's happened to Balaram? Or what's happened to this child? He's not moving, he's not opening his eyes, he's not eating, he's not doing anything. When Krishna came, everything changed. Everything changed. Balaram became normal child. He was waiting for Krishna. And they looked so very, very beautiful. Every time Rohini and Yashoda would see their children, they would look even more beautiful. They would sit there and stare at them for hours, wondering who they actually were. As they grew, their features would become even more and more beautiful. When they looked at the eyes, they thought they were like lotus flowers. When they looked at their cheeks, they looked like soft cotton balls. Then when they looked at the teeth, they looked like pearls. We should understand, Krishna is not an ordinary person. He's not an ordinary child. He's the supreme personality of Godhead. His body is not like our body. His body is completely spiritual. Our body is material. It will one day finish. Krishna's body is eternal. It never finishes. Even when he descends to this world, his body is completely spiritual. And with him descends the whole spiritual world. And this, and Krishna is actually wearing a t-shirt. It's got Radha at the back of it, which is interesting. Thank you for spoiling that. The next day after he was born, it was Nandutsav, and Nanda Maharaj did a fantastic celebration. He invited the devotees, the Brahmins, they chanted Vedic mantras. He gave so many gifts to the Brahmins. He gave so much food to the Gomatas. He gave so many Gomatas to the Brahmins as well. So many gifts. So especially on special occasions, one should always be generous with one's words, deeds, and Lakshmi as well. Sixth day came this, the witch Putana. Putana was, looked terrible, but she actually transformed herself into looking like a beautiful goddess. And when the Brijabasis saw her, they were really impressed. They were thinking, this is a heavenly denizen who's come to feed, to look after our Krishna. So they allowed her to take him into her lap. They allowed her to even take him outside. She was going to feed him. She started feeding him. She was very deceptive. But Krishna still allowed her to come nearby and feed him. But when she started feeding him, he sucked the life out of Putana. Now, he was only 6 days old. She turned into her normal state, which was a horrible 12-mile body. It was really horrible. But somehow or other, Krishna gave her the boon of being his nurse in the spiritual world. Her intention was rotten. It was to destroy Krishna. But Krishna is so amazing, so loving. He didn't look at her motive of feeding him with poison. He just looked at it as a service, that you have given me milk. It was poison, but it didn't matter to Krishna. He accepted it as milk. This is the beauty of the Lord. Only the Lord can do this. Even one throws insults at the Lord, he takes it as a compliment. Of course, we want to serve the Lord in a positive manner, not in a negative manner. But the Lord will accept any service, whether it's positive or negative. Shishupal insulted the Lord 100 times, but he accepted those 100 insults all as compliments. Somehow Krishna would change those insults into compliments. So in the same way, he accepted the poison of Putana as milk, and he accepted that service and promoted Putana to the spiritual world. Only Krishna can do this, not even Lord Vishnu. Only Krishna in Braja will do this for a demon. A demon will come and he would get promoted to the spiritual world. If Vishnu kills a demon, he'll attain the Brahma Jyoti. But in Braja, Krishna disregards all the rules and etiquettes. He promotes the demon straight to the spiritual kingdom. Govinda Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhuji, let's take a break. You will get a break as well. And,
yes.
For the audience, so the very first question on this segment, what Prabhuji confirmed, it says, who is the source of all incarnation? Is it Krishna, Vishnu, Shiva, or Brahma? Hari bol. That was not supposed to take long. And yes, we got the answer as Krishna. Thank you. And the second question, that might take a while. We always say Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago. But we said the same last year. And even a year before that, we always say 5,000 years. Last year, we said 5,000. Last year, we said 5,000. And next year, we will be saying 5,000. Anybody knows exactly in this year how many years ago Krishna appeared? It was there on one of the slides Prabhuji was sharing. Okay, I hope nobody is doing the calculation. Ooh, right. But very close, very close. As per the calculations, based on the information Prabhuji shared, it was 5,248 years ago. This information was there on one of the slides. Hari bol. Great. Now the next one is one of those we should always remember. And I said, when we take shelter of Krishna, which three things happens? It says, but happen. Reference to Vasudev when he was about to leave the prison with Krishna, the door opens. So three things happen. In a sequence, if you like to say, or doesn't matter out of sequence, there are three things which happens. Lust, very nice. Karma finishes, that's the very first thing. Lust is in a sleeping mode, great. Chains break. Rebel, there's one more thing. What happens? Do we go back to this? Yes, Haribol, spiritual, that was the word I was looking for. Karma finishes, right? Shackles are gone. Second, lust or anger goes to sleep. The third, door to the spiritual world opens. Always remember that, these three, really the way Prabhuji explained and put forward. Question 4, how do we get Krishna's protection, right? How do we get Krishna's protection? There's one particular thing Prabhuji mentioned. Appreciate God? Yes, we can appreciate because Krishna is there within us as Paramatma. Surrender? Yes. Surrender and serving. Haribol. What Prabhuji mentioned, by taking Haribol, by chanting, by taking the name of the Lord, hearing and chanting, by chanting. Hari Haribol. Thank you. Now the next one is, who was the female child Kamsa tried killing? Do we have a name? Do we know?
Yogamaya.
Yogamaya. Haribol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes. Is there any other name as well? She was Maya Devi. There's another name. Durga Mata, Kana said. Yes, Haribol. So Durga Mata or Yogamaya. And it might be worth mentioning that Krishna said, we all the living entities are in the influence of material mode of nature, under the influence of Maya. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he's not. He's not. And how come it could be? Because Maya Devi, Durga Devi is Krishna's devotee herself. That's right. So Durga Devi, Durga Mata is Maya Devi. Yes. Okay. And this is the second last coming. What is the difference between Krishna's body and our body? Jiva's body, living entity's body.
Krishna's body gets, our body gets older, whereas Krishna's is transcendental.
Haribo.
It doesn't get
So much. Yes.
aging.
Yeah, got it.
So you can't type fast enough.
Yes, of course. No worries. Yeah, you said it. Krishna's body is spiritual, transcendental. In our body, we know it very well, how much pain we get out of it, right? So the last question before we get to the presentation, what was the name of first demon Krishna delivered and how old Krishna was?
6 days.
Haribo. Okay, so we got both answers. In the chat, somebody said Putna. That's nice. And 6 days is the answer. Thank you so much. I chose my words carefully. I said Krishna delivered. I didn't say Krishna killed. So maybe when you get the chance, meditate on it. Krishna did not kill the demons. Krishna delivered the, or loose language, we say Krishna killed, but Krishna delivered the demons. Haribo. Thank you so much for everyone's involvement. Now for the last segment of this presentation, which is very informative. Certainly I'm thoroughly enjoying and getting information out of it. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Please, back to you. Prabhuji is looking for the time. 20 past 4 now.
So about 10-15 minutes is okay? For
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So chapter 7 and 8, and then 9-10 actually is the Damodar Leela. So we'll finish at chapter 8. Now, another demon came when Krishna was 3 months old, Sakatasur, and he actually converted himself into a cart. He's the cart demon. Mother Yashoda was busy at that time. She was preparing for some festival. She left Krishna thinking he'll be safe under this cart. Krishna at that time, he was a baby. He was not quite crawling. He was not talking. Of course, these are all Leela. We have to understand that actually Krishna is eternally ever cognizant. He is never in a situation where he's like a baby. He's fully conscious, completely Krishna. Krishna is fully aware of everything that's going on. Omniscient, omnipresent. However, when he takes the form of a child, he covers himself, so he experiences the joys that a child does experience. So at this time, he was a small baby, 3 months old. And at that time, this cart demon came. And at that time, Krishna simply realizes this is a demon, and he cutely just kicked the demon, lightly kicked him. And that caused the demon to be liberated. And actually a huge thunderous sound came from the cart being basically demolished. Everybody was running towards Krishna. Where is he? Is he okay? Mother Yashoda was in panic mode. Of course, Krishna was just there cutely playing away. Just with a light touch of his foot, he destroyed the demon. So there's a lesson to learn from this. We also carry cartloads of old bad habits, lethargy, vanity, so many things we have which are unwanted anarthas. And we can also request the Lord's assistance to get rid of those bad qualities in us. We may not have the power to do that ourselves. We're not very austere in this age. We don't do tapasya. We don't do penances. But we can petition the Lord, please help us reduce our horrible, horrible qualities that we possess. Just like he did with the cart demon. One little kick kicked off all of his bad qualities and sent him to the spiritual kingdom. After 1 year, they performed a wonderful abhishek of Krishna. And again, the Brahmins were invited. You can see the Brahmins are always present doing the prayers from the Vedas. And the Lord loves that. So when it's time to celebrate the Lord's appearance day, we should really be very enthusiastically celebrating his appearance days, because on those days there's special potency. And this month is not just one day. This is the beauty of this month. It's a whole month of glorious celebrations. So we should try to really engage ourselves fully in this month and take full benefit. Next demon who came, they were coming thick and fast. Trinivarta, he was the whirlwind demon. He picked up Krishna and he carried him high in the sky. And Krishna simply put his arm around his neck and just squeezed it a little bit and became as heavy as a mountain. And Trinivarta's body collapsed onto the ground. And he was also, as Govind Prabhu says, liberated. Krishna freed him from this world. When Yashoda Mai saw the demon and Krishna was again playing on him, she came over to him and she just gave him a big hug. She opened his mouth with her finger, just to see, is everything okay? Is he okay? His tongue is still okay? And what she saw manifest in his mouth, so she saw the universal form. She saw it twice. Once just after Trinivarta was killed, and then later on when he ate dirt. Okay. And this actually proves that God is not an ordinary jiva. He's the supreme personality of Godhead. If somebody says that they're God, just ask them to open their mouth. Let's see if there's a universal form in there. One day, 1 year old, Gaga Muni did the name-giving ceremony. And he called the son of Rohini, Balaram. He's going to be very strong. And they called Lala Krishna. They gave him the name Krishna. Very beautiful name. He was engaged in pastimes with the calves from a very young age. They used to hold on to the tails of Gaumata, and the cows, the calves, they would run. They would be in a very playful mood with Krishna because they know Krishna loves them and they love Krishna equally. So the Lord was in having constant pastimes with Gaumatas. Now, Krishna and Balaram, they love everybody, especially the cows. And from a young age, they would play with calves. Very important for us, this message, that we should also have a lot of good feelings, loving feelings towards Gaumata, just like Krishna does. There's one sannyasi in, I forgot his name now, but he made a lovely comment. Krishna loves cows. Krishna can't live without cows. But yet, do we even think about cows on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? Do we even think of a cow at all? We should. Krishna can't live without cows. So if we want to show Krishna that we love him, we should also love his cows. Yashoda Mai and Rohini were kept busy every moment of the day because Krishna and Balaram, they were really playful. And they used to call their gopi friends, the elderly gopis, come and see the antics of Krishna. And constantly they would just be in meditation of Krishna. They would talk about Krishna, think about Krishna, laugh with Krishna, laugh at Krishna because he would do so many amazing things. And the elderly gopis, they were completely enamored by Krishna. They loved him so much. And they would constantly be praying to him. You're always eating at your mother's house, Yashoda Mai. Why don't you come and steal our butter? This is one of their prayers. So when Radharani appeared in Yavat, at that time, she didn't open her eyes. And Kirtida and Vrishabhanu, they would be constantly worried. What if our daughter is blind? Narad Muni came and said, don't worry. When the son of Yashoda and Nand comes, everything will be fine. They invited Yashoda and Nand Maharaj. Krishna was with them. And Krishna crawled over and looked into the cot of Radharani. And at that very moment, for the first time, she opened her eyes. because she'd made a vow, I will not look at anybody except you. So when he came, she opened her eyes and looked at Krishna. And that was the most incredible moment in Braj Bhumi at that time. Must have been the most amazing thing. So the lesson for us is, one thing we should do, we should see every morning in the eyes of our heart is Krishna through the chanting of the holy names. So chanting early morning is very, very good for us. So these gopis used to pray, but he would pray to the Yashoda. Of course, their complaints were because they wanted to see Krishna. They didn't want to complain about Krishna. They just wanted to see him. Sometimes the only way to see him was go to Mother Yashoda and complain about Krishna. And they would have so many complaints as well. One by one, they would say to Krishna, well, he comes into our home, eats our butter, he makes a mess, and then he runs away. We hide the pots hanging from the ceiling, but still he manages to reach there. They used to switch off the lights. But his jewels are so bright. There's light everywhere. He doesn't need light to get see our butter. One gopi kept her husband outside the door to guard. Make sure Krishna doesn't come in. Krishna, he smiled at the Gopa. Gopa just melted. Krishna ran through the legs, did his business of stealing the butter and ran out again. The Gopa was still mesmerized by the smile of Krishna. Sometimes he would, if he didn't find any butter, he would go into the bedroom, Gopi said, and pinched my son's cheeks and made him cry, and then ran away. One time we tied bells to all the pots so that if he came and he made any movement of the pots, the bell would ring. So Krishna came in, but he told the bells, shh, don't make a sound. Shh. The bells didn't make a sound. Krishna puts his hand in the pot of butter, starts eating. Ding, 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 ding. The bells start ringing. Krishna said, what are you doing? I told you to shh. What can we do? The bell said. This is what we do. When you eat, we ring the bell. In that way, they caught him. But they argued with Krishna, or Krishna argued with them. They would argue with Krishna saying, why are you stealing butter? I caught you. The Krishna would argue, no, it's all mine anyway, which is absolutely the truth. Everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He wasn't lying. Now, one time, what happened? Krishna was caught red-handed. His hand was in the pot, butter pot. So the gopi came over, caught him, and she asked him, what are you doing? So Krishna said, well, very clever. He's less than 2 at this time. I was walking past your house and I saw through the window, you have the highest ceilings. And my mother, Yashoda, Mai, she tells me that for my age, I'm very short. So I thought, she's got the highest ceilings and the butter pot is hanging from there. I will hang from the butter pot and make my height grow bigger. So then the gopi asked, well, why in that case have you got makhan in your hands? Ah, Krishna says, very clever. Well, when I was walking, I saw a big ant go into the butter pot. And I thought this gopi has made this butter with so much love and attention and effort. Let me go and save this makhan from this ant. So that's why I'm here. I've got this ant. I've taken it out of your butter pot. So then how come, Gopi says, you've got makhan all over your mouth and your lips? Ah, Krishna thought, game over. He jumped down and ran out. This was one of the pastimes. They also had some incredible associates, the monkeys, especially one called Dadiloba, who was the favorite of Krishna's. And they would send him out initially just to check out the gopis' house. Any doors are open, any windows are open, Dadiloba would find a way to get in or let everybody in, and then they would have a feast. And Krishna, he would feed the monkeys. This was their reward. At the time of Ramachandra, they worked hard for him. Now, Krishna is giving them their reward, makhan from his own hands. And they would eat until they were full. And the gopis would come and say, hey, Krishna, why are you giving our wonderful makhan to the monkeys? And Krishna would say, well, your wonderful makhan, you say? He would take some makhan and he'd give it to the monkey. But the monkey is already full up to here. The monkey would say, no more. So Krishna would turn to the gopi and say, well, see, even the monkeys don't like your makhan. How useless it is. So in this way, Krishna would have wonderful pastimes with the gopis. And he would show his sweetness. And by these antics, they would fall in love with him. And we also have the same opportunity to fall in love with this most adorable son of Yashoda. So final bit of chapter 7 is when so far only the gopis have been complaining to Mother Yashoda. This time, Balaram came to Yashoda Mai and said to Yashoda, Krishna has been eating dirt. Oh, Yashoda Mai came running and she confronted Krishna. Open your mouth. Have you been eating dirt? Krishna wouldn't open his mouth. But with his eyes, he was telling Yashoda Mai, no, I haven't eaten dirt. And then he tried to take her attention away from what's in his mouth, because there was dirt in his mouth. He'd honored Earth, Mother Earth, by eating a little bit of her. So he said with his eyes to Mother Yashoda, you shouldn't believe Balaram. What do you mean, Yashoda Mai says, I shouldn't believe Balaram? He's your elder brother. No, but he's meant to be looking after me. But he says all sorts of horrible things. Like what does he say? So one time he asked me, I am white. Mother Yashoda is white. Nanda Maharaj is white. Why are you blue? Krishna says, I don't know why I'm blue. Now Balaram says, I'm older than you. Right? He's 8 days older. I know why. One day, Nanda Maharaj was in the marketplace, and he saw that they were auctioning you. And he felt very compassionate towards you, and he bought you, and he brought you home. And actually, when Balaram said that to him, Balaram did say that to him, and Krishna just cried, and he went running to Yashoda Mai at that time. He wouldn't tell her, but now he was telling her, this is what he does to me. In the meantime, he's just clearing his mouth of all the dirt. And then Yashoda Mai asks him again, please open your mouth. He opens the mouth, and within the mouth, Yashoda Mai sees the universal form. Not the same universal form that Arjun saw. This was a more delicate universal form. The one Arjun saw was ferocious. He saw Krishna, he saw the Kauravas and the armies of the Pandavas being eaten. But Mother Yashoda, she saw the different universes, the different components of the universes. In this way, she actually lost her motherly feeling at that time towards Krishna, and she was in awe and reverence. Oh, who is this amazing? He must be the supreme personality of Godhead. So far, they know he's very, very special, very, very gorgeous, very, very appealing and lovable. But God, no, no, no. Narayan comes and protects him. Putana was killed by Narayan. Trinavata was killed by Vishnu. No, no, no. They protect him. He's not God. But he's very, very special. They love him for who he is. A very special cowherd boy. That's his nature. That's why they love him. So in this way, she lost her motherly attachment to Krishna. And then immediately Krishna decided to cover her with Yoga Maya again, so that she doesn't lose that motherly attachment to him. He loves the motherly feelings that Yashoda has for him, as we will see in the Yashoda Damodar Leela, which is coming up next. So that's where I wanted to finish. Govind Prabhu, have you've got...
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a nice pastime of, I don't know about others, but I went to the childhood where the children and my niece is sitting there with my mom. And I'm sure she's enjoyed those stories as well of the pastime. Let's get on to the Damodarastakam, Prabhuji.
Okay, because we're out of time, right?
That's right. Yes, yeah, I think it's a good time.
And what I was thinking, we don't necessarily have to repeat if you don't want to, or shall we repeat?
I think we are good. We will go in the flow if you share, or yeah, if we share and we will sing along.
So maybe call and response. Is that what you're thinking?
We will. Well, Mataji is nodding the head.
Okay, good. Yeah, we can do. Let me bring it up. You can just say a few things about Damodarastakam while I bring it up.
Sure.
Huh?
Yes, yeah. Okay. So, right as I was saying, and Prabhuji got such a nice setup as well, and Mataji got the altar setup, and I'm going to go downstairs. I'm upstairs, and we are going to show the ghee lamp to Lord Damodar. And the reason we say Damodar, anybody knows, rather than me explaining, who would like to say Damodar? There are two words in it. In this one word, there are two words. Damodar.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Dams mean the rope, and udar mean the belly.
Haribo. Yes. Thank you so much. So this is one of those time, again, another pastime, and do attend the next session Prabhuji is going to do, because that's when that chapter is going to get covered. And obviously the series is going on. It was the time when Yashoda Mai got hold of Krishna because he was mischievous, right? And for the full story, wait for the next session. But Yashoda Mai got hold of Krishna and used the rope, tied the rope around his belly. And that's when Krishna got a new name as Damodar, Lord Damodar. And because this incident, this pastime happened in the month of Kartick, that's why during the time of Kartick month, as devotees, we cherish this pastime, we keep reminding ourselves. And in the beginning, as we said, the benefit, not the material benefit, which is the side effect anyways, but the spiritual benefit we get out of it. This is what we really look after, the spiritual benefit we get. And as I said, a couple of our friends, they have joined right on the time because they know that this is the time when we need to show the ghee lamp to the Lord and get the spiritual enhancement working. So respecting the time, Prabhuji, I think we are good. And as I think, as you say, if Mataji, could you confirm, Haripriya Mataji, do we want to repeat back?
Prabhu, it's really up to you. Do you want to just like sing it together, if to just save time?
Sing it together, and then we can, if there is time, we can actually read the English translation, because that gives the pastime very beautifully as well.
That's right.
Yeah, perfect.
So Karuna Bandar, you can lead, and everybody will sing with you, if that's okay.
Haribol.
Hey, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam लसत्कुन्दानं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदभियो लोकाराधवमानम् परं स्मृतं मद्यन्ततो धृत्यगोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुगं विजन्तम् करम्भुजयुग्मेन सन्ताकनेत्रम् मुहुस्वशाकं पत्रीरेखं खखन्ता स्थितगर्वं दामोदरं भक्तिबाधम् इति जिह्वालीलाभिरानन्दकुञ्जे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तं मख्यापयन्तम् तरीयशितान्येषु भक्तेर्जितत्वम् उमाप्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्तिवन्दे वरं दिवा मोक्षं न मोक्षं वदिं वा न चन्यं विनेहं वरेशारपीह इदं ते वा पुरनाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्य वीरस्तं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखं भोजं मत्यन्तनीले वितं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे वनस्य विरस्तमलं यक्षराभे नमो दामोदरनन्द विष्णु शीघ्रप्रबोधुपचराभिमानम् कृपादृष्टिविश्यतिविनम्बतानु गृहादितमामहव्यं त्वया मुचितो भक्तिमयोपितो च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं विक्रया च न मोक्षे विग्रहो मे श्रीदामोदरेण नमस्ते सुदाम्ने सुवादितिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय च विश्वासदाम्ने नमो रधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौर हरि बोल
Hare Krishna.
Is there time to read the translation, do you think?
Sure, Prabhuji, we can, I think. We still have 10 minutes.
Oh, great. So why don't you start with the first verse, and maybe some of the children can read as well.
Yes, Haribol. So this is the translation of the Damodarastakam, the 8 verses we have just, Mataji sang and we followed. Now the very first one, to the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of the external existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Anybody else would like to read the second verse, please?
Ivani.
Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his 2 lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearl around his neck, which is the mark with the 3 lines like a conch shell. It's shaking because of his quick breath due to crying. To the Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, who is
belly is bound, not with ropes, but
with his pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Would your son like to read? Yes.
by such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in the knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar, hundreds of times.
Haripriya, would you like to read?
Yeah. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon, which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Balagopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use of me of any other boon besides this?
Rohit, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. 5th one.
Yes,
Yes,
number 5,
please.
yes.
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by the mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedications are no use to me.
Okay, thank you. Anil Kandalwal, would you like to read?
Number 6.
Yes, Prabhuji. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Pani, are you there?
Hello, Prabhu. Sorry.
Right. Number 7.
Number 7, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
O Lord Damodara, just as the two sons of uh, Kuvera and Manigriva and Nalakurva were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give me to your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you. Kamakshi?
Coming, sorry, I left the table. Number 8, yeah?
Yes, please.
O Lord Damodar, obeisances unto the brilliantly effulgent rope binding your belly. Obeisances unto your belly, the abode of entire universe. Obeisances unto your dear most beloved Srimati Radharani, and obeisances unto you, O Lord, who display unlimited pastime. Jai Damodar Bhagwan ki jai.
Jai, Radha Damodar ki, Yashoda Damodar ki, Jai. So tomorrow, actually, we're going to sing a bhajan which, Govind Prabhu, you may well be very familiar with. This Karuna Bandar, she's mastered Shri Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavad Raj.
Yes,
So that's what we're going to sing tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So, and we're going to continue with the series, as you very nicely said. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Yashoda Mai. What is her actual position? Is she a demigod or is she an eternal associate of the Lord? To understand this Leela, it's nice to let Shiva Maharaj very beautifully explains the position of Yashoda Mai. And then the following weekend, we will look in a lot of detail through Maharaj's book and some other Goswami's books about the Damodar Leela itself in some detail. So we'll spend a few hours, maybe about 6-7 hours in total, just looking at the detail of, not in one go, over the next 3 weekends to go through that Leela. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So, Nashinga prayers, would your son or daughter like to sing?
Sure, yes.
Prabhu, is Damodar Aarti been done?
Oh, yes, Mataji, you can do now. You can still do.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Prabhu.
actually, we're singing for the protection of Kaushalya Mataji. Also, Ketan, we like to sing for his good health. And Tunga Vidya, we'd like to sing for her. And so there's a lady called Saroj Gujral. No, Saroj, I forgot her surname. She wants us to pray for her as well. So if there's anybody you'd like to remember at this time so that we can petition Lord Nrsingadev to help their spiritual, mental, and physical health as well. Okay, young man.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlad Ladadaine.
Prahlad Ladadaine.
Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha.
Shilatanakanakalaye.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Yatu Yatu yami tato narasimha.
Yato yami tato narasimha.
Bahe narasimha, hidaye narasimha.
Bahe narasimha, hidaye narasimha.
Narasimha madim sharanam prapade.
Narasimha madim sharanam prapade.
Tava kara kamala varinaka adbhuta shringa Kalita hiranyakashipu tanubringa.
Tava kara kamala varenaka adbhuta shringa Dalita hiranyakashipu tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya
Jaya Narsimhadev, 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 Jaya Narsimhadev.
Jaya Narsimhadev Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Narasimha Dev ki Jai Prabhupada Maharaj ki Jai Nabinandan Prabhu ki Jai
Govind
Mataji ki
Hari
Jai
Priya ki jai. Thank you so much. You got amazing family. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Actually, we're just going to carry on a little bit more because we do the Nashinga coverage. And we'll just take a few questions if there are any. But you're welcome to stay. I know in India it's quite late now. Maybe they may want to go to sleep or something, which is fine. But thank you very, very much, everybody joining and sending your blessings, especially Govindji's mother and father, all the way from Vrindavan, and mother-in-law, Haripriya. Are they still with us, Haripriya Mataji, your mother and father?
My mother is there. My dad is no more. He's
sorry to.
Yes,
Okay,
I think my mom is still here, but yeah, it's getting quite late, so she'll probably take off.
Yes. Okay. Is that Asha Sharma? Is that your mother?
That's my mother-in-law, and Pushpa is my mother. I think she's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she's there. So you can ask her to send her blessings.
Yes.
Blessings are important.
Yes, definitely. Mama, if you're there, we seek your blessings. We can't see you, but yeah, I'm sure you are listening to us. Yeah, she's still mute. Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you so much. Amazing. Very, very nice satsang. Thank you, Govind Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you
should
for
do a lot more together
thank you
in
for-
time. We'll have to do a lot more together in time. Huh?
Keep us in your association. Thank you so much. I would like to say thank yous. Thank you for everyone for your association. It was such a lovely evening, and without you, we have been doing it every day at home, but with the Devotees Association, it's a different thing, and we seek your blessings. And thank you so much, Karuna Mataji. It was really, really nice the way you came along and you sang it. It's a blessing to be in your association. Thank you so much.
The way she did this yesterday, the Radha Kripa Kataksha Staval Raja, she did it yesterday. And it was glorious. And she was saying, I have to practice. I was thinking, if that's your practice, what chance have we got?
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Dandavat pranam.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo
Om
namo.
Namo
Thank you
Namah.
so much. Hari Priyama Aji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Hare Hare.
Oh yes, today, Geeta, you can say it. Where are you, Geeta?
She's gone.
Oh, so it's satsang tonight is at Anjali and Geeta's ashram. So everybody's welcome. Same address.
7:30.
7:30. And tomorrow is Kaushalya Mataji. She's just there. Nita. She's also like to invite everybody to come. Tomorrow is Radha Kund. So we are actually going to have Radha Kund here. Literally.
Try.
Somebody's working at it tonight. And we will do circumambulation of Radha Kund and bathing in Radha Kund as well. So please join us tomorrow as well if you can. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to ask, Anil, do you have any questions from your side?
No, Prabhuji, I'm good. Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Because you usually have, and I always enjoy your questions. So I thought, let's check you out. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Anything you'd like to share? Any realizations you'd like to share? Okay, then we can do the Nrsimha Kavach, and then we usually chant one round, and then we can finish. So let me just bring it up. Is it? Oh, yes, and of course we end with a traditional feast, a virtue feast. On this feast, we don't get any cholesterol. Because
no put any weight on.
No, yeah, and no weight putting on. I don't think it's here. Oh, is it? One second, might be here. Right?
Are we going to change the menu anytime?
I knew you were going to get smart, Kamakshi. No. if you don't like that,
choose from that.
This is
Chappanbog.
Okay.
I had to just get in there.
I know it's good comment. I like it. I like it. It's good humor. Good humor. Thank you. Okay, so Karuna, would you like to
take it away?
Take it away, yes, please.
Shri Lakshmi Dev ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shapalpad ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Narasingha Kavacham Vakshe, Prahladena Ditam Pura, Sarvaraksha-karam Punyam, Sarvopadravanashanam, Sarvasampatkaram Chaiva, Swarga-moksha-pradayakam, Yadva Narasingham Devesham, Hema-simhasanastitam, Vipritasyam Trinayanam, Sharadindushamaprabham, Lakshmyalingita-vamangam, Vibhuti-virupashitam, Chaturbhujam Komalangam Swarnakundalashobhitam Shriyasu Shobhitoraskam Ratnakeyuramudritam Tapta Kanchana Shankasham Pita Nirmala Vasasam Indradi Suramolishta Suranmanikya Diktivi Virajita Pada Dhanvam Shanka Chakradi Hetiti Garutmata Cha Vinayat Stuya Manam Mudanvitam Swarita Kamala Samvasam Kridvatu Gavachampate Narasingho me Shira Patu Lokarakshata Sambhava Sarvagopi Stambhavasa Palam me Rakshatu Dhanim Narasingho me Disho Patu Soma Sunani Lochana Sritam me Patu Narahari Muni Varya Stuti Priya Nasam me Simha Nashistu Mukham Lakshmi Mukha Priya Sarva Vidyadi Papatu Narasingho Rasana Mama Vaktram Padvindu Vadanam Sada Prahlada Vandita Narasingha Patu Me Kantham Skando Bhubharanantikrit Divyastra Shobhita Bhuja Narasingha Patu Me Bhujav Karome Deva Varado Narasingha Patu Sarvata Hridayam Yogi Sadhyascha Nivasam Patu Me Hari Madhyam Patu Hiranyaksha Kushi Vidarana Nabhim Me Patu Narahari Sunabhi Brahma Samstuta Brahmanakotaya Katyam Yasya Sopatu Mekatim Goyam Me Patu Goyanam Mantranam Goya Rupadrik Urumano Bhava Patu Januni Nara Rupadrik Jange Patu Dharabhara Harta Yosam Vikeshari Suraraja Pradapatu Pada Menarahishwara Sahasra Shesha Purusha Patu Me Sarvashastanu Mahograha Purvata Patu Mahaviragrajodnita Mahavishnu Dakshinetu Mahajalastu Nairita पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेषु दिशि मे सर्वतोमुख नरसिंह पातु वायव्यं सौम्यं भीषणविग्रह ईशान्यां पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायक संसारभयतः पातु मृत्युर्निकेशरी इदं नरसिंहकवचं प्रह्लादमुपमण्डितं भक्तिमान् यपते नित्यं सर्वपापै प्रमुच्यते पुत्रवान् धनवान् लोके दीर्घायुरुपजायते यं यं कामयते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोति असंशयम् सर्वत्र जयमाप्नोति सर्वत्र विजयी भवेत् भूम्यन्तरिक्षदिव्यानां ग्रहाणां विनिवारणं वृश्चिकरोगसम्भूतविशापाहरणं परं ब्रह्मरक्षासि याक्षाणां दुरोत्सारणकारणं भुजे वा तालपत्रे वा कवचं लिखितं शुभं कर्मूले धृतं येन सिद्ध्येयुः कर्मसिद्ध्यय देवासु मनुष्येषु स्वं स्वमेव जयं लभेत् एकसन्ध्यं त्रिसन्ध्यं वा यापाते नियतो नर सर्वमाङ्गलमङ्गल्यं मुक्तिं च विन्दति द्वात्रिंशतिसहस्राणि पाते चूदात्मभिर्निधि कवचस्यास्य मन्त्रसिद्धिः प्रजायते अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृपा भस्माभिर्मन्त्रणम् इरकं बिभ्रयायस्तु तस्य ग्रहभयं हरेत् त्रिवारं जपमानस्तु दातं भार्या मे मन्त्रस्य प्रशयेत्यं नरं मन्त्रं नरसिंहध्यानमाचरेत् तस्य रोगाः प्रणश्यन्ति ये चक्षुकुक्षि सम्भव किमत्र बहुनोक्तेन नरसिंहसदृशो भवेत् मनुषा चिन्तितं यत्तु सत्तच्चाप्नोत्य संशयम् गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपतलं शोधयन्तं हतन्तं दीप्यान्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि दितिजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रान्दान्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं हरन्तं वीक्षान्तं पूरयान्तं करनिकर्षते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे प्रह्लादोक्तं श्रीनरसिंहकवचं सम्पूर्णम् श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Shall we do one round together if everybody's have time? Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Or tonight.
Oh, tonight, yes. So come on. Anil, if you're free, come in about 2 hours, 20 minutes time.
Sure, Prabhuji.
So that'll be nice. Yeah. We've been having really nice satsangs. It's a shame it's so late in Mauritius, huh? Otherwise, it'd be amazing to have bhajans with you as well. Anyway.